You can cheat respectfully. Just make sure you wearing condoms. You don't bring home no babies. You don't bring home no STDs. And you can go out there and lay the wood.
What's up, real ones? Welcome back to the Relationship Podcast, where we're bringing the real back to relationships.
Yes, sir.
I'm Asha Steele.
And I'm Devin Steele.
And we're so excited that you guys are tuning in today with us because we have a great one today, you guys.
Yeah.
And we know that we usually say we have a good one, a great one, but we just feel like this content that we've been pushing out, the knowledge that we've been dropping, it's been above all. You know, we've been very serious about making sure that we are giving y'all the consistency of just the knowledge to be able to help you in your relationships. If you're going through hardships, or if you're not just wanting to take your relationship to the next level, or if you're not in a relationship and you're single, just trying to be successfully single and prepare yourself for when you do enter to that relationship. So I'm excited for this podcast that we're about to get into because I feel like it's going to be helpful for so many people.
Yeah, let's clap it up for consistency, though.
Consistency.
You know what I mean? We celebrate small victories over here because we know that it gives you that motivation to keep pushing forward, and we back-to-back weeks, so it's something to celebrate.
Week 2 after our long hiatus, we get into it. So let's get into it.
So before we even get into today's topic, normally we have a segment for those of you who are new listeners that's called A Message from a Real One, where we read an email or DM that a listener sends us asking for advice. But today we wanted to switch it up and read a review that a listener left us on Apple because it meant a lot to read that. Like it inspired us, it motivates us, it pushes us to continue to push forward when we see messages like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this review. It says, free counseling is what this is. People pay tons of money to professionals who sometimes can't even get you through the toughest relationship issues. After my partner introduced me to the show, I at first didn't seek in. One day, she just sneezed all on my face.
I'm sorry.
For those of y'all who cannot see,
I'm sorry.
go to you. She just sneezed all my. I feel like I need to go get a rapid test done right now. That's how much I just felt smacked. Like this sideburn, this part of my beard is probably glistening right now, bro.
I'm sorry. I tried not to let it out, and it just forcefully came out. I was just trying to hold my nose and keep it in.
Listen, we're going to act like that. I'm going to get back to this message, though. I forgot where I left off.
All right, hold on. I'm sorry.
It says, one day I decided I would. By just listening to the episodes, it has helped me so much. Mentally, for myself and for my partner and our growth. You have no idea the hardship you have helped and still continue to impact in my relationship. Thank you two beautiful souls for taking the time out to do this. Thank you. You have no idea how much you help in our relationship, and I'm sure in so many other relationships. You save us, heroes. God bless you, and may he use you two for his mighty work for anyone struggling through real relationship issues. Clap it up for that, man. Clap it up for that, because like I said, after I was rudely sneezed on,
oh my goodness,
that reading messages like that, it's like it shows you the reason why you do what you do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's part of the just keeping it real moment that I wanted to share with you guys, because we also have a segment called Just Keeping It Real, where we just talk about whatever's on our heart. And a couple of weeks ago, like 2 Saturdays ago, BMF did not come on. BMF did not come on, and I was so mad.
Yes.
Because I waited till like 12 in the morning. No, it wasn't 12 in the morning because I wasn't able to catch it. Normally I do watch it, but I had to wait till the next day, and I went to go cut it on, and it wasn't on.
It wasn't there.
And I was so disappointed that it wasn't on.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to 50 page trying to see what he's talking about, and he going in on stars, but that's probably just part of their marketing scheme. But he was going in on them because they put it up for 3 hours and then they took it down.
Yeah.
So then I had to wait another week to watch the episode, right?
Yeah.
And I was disappointed. And it made me think about how many times y'all probably have tried to listen to a new episode and we ain't put one out.
Wow.
For real. It made me think about that. And it's crazy because when we put that episode out last week after being out of the game for a good minute, probably like 2+ months.
Yeah.
Like we immediately jumped back into the top 100. We woke up yesterday into the top 50. And it's like, yo, y'all really be holding us down. And I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the little thing. I appreciate you taking out the time to go leave a review on Apple because I know everybody's life is busy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do that. So for those of you who do take the time out to go write a review or send us a message, man, this is what we do it for. And like Asha said, we trying to turn over a new leaf. Like, yeah, our schedules are busy, but y'all are important to us.
Yeah.
And we have to show you that. We have to make a commitment that we're going to show up to give y'all the information because y'all are showing up to do the work. So we got to put in the same amount of effort. We got to leave the excuses behind and really make this thing happen because we know that y'all want it, y'all need it, and y'all be holding us down, man. So shout out to all the real ones who listening to this podcast.
Yeah, I think that's so amazing because even with you saying that, we was looking, I think it was like a comment or a message that we received on social media or on Instagram, and it said something about we ghosted them.
You left me on red.
Yeah, and they was looking for us, and I just think like that's our fault. We apologize, you guys, but I just think it's so amazing how like y'all just really be looking forward to the content and how y'all enjoy what we're putting out there because we really pour ourselves into this. Like just trying to get the knowledge to try to go over, you know, the books and the interviews that we try to set up with the experts that we're talking to, just like really trying to dive into this and have a better understanding of it and apply it to our lives and be able to help you guys as well because it's so important. The work is so important. And so I just think it's amazing that y'all continuously support us, even with our little, you know, moments where we kind of leave y'all hanging, and that's our fault. But y'all still there. Y'all still rocking with us. So y'all definitely real ones for that. And I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you ready to get into this topic?
Absolutely. Because this is a serious one.
Yeah, definitely. So when we were on our hiatus, we were still doing Instagram lives. Like we were trying to find ways to still engage with all our listeners and the followers on our page and just give y'all information. And a topic had came out about cheating. And we just wanted to tackle that topic and see what everybody's thoughts were. I don't know what show this is from. Do you know what show this is from? I don't even know.
Not exactly, it's from a reality TV show, and the topic was, to be exact, about cheating respectfully. And I don't know, it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I don't remember what the show is. But I was actually watching, I had caught a glimpse of the show. And I think you had came in and heard it. And then, like, we were kind of discussing it. I don't
watch that, y'all. Yeah. I came in and heard it.
Like, I literally had caught that episode and I was watching it. And so we were discussing it and we was like, oh, this is an interesting topic. And like you said, we put it on our social media. And the amount of feedback that we received was, like, crazy. Like, so many people had shared their perspective on it, and like even with us doing our lives and talking about it, we had
the most viewers on that live.
Yes, absolutely. And so we was like, we definitely wanted to, you know, touch on this and put it on the podcast because, like we said, cheating respectfully.
Hold on. Don't get into it yet.
Okay.
Save your opinion on it. We're gonna play this video for them real quick.
Okay.
So they can see what we're talking about. Because I know you gonna have a mouthful.
Okay.
This is probably gonna be an episode where y'all don't hear that much from me because Asha in this topic, they don't really see eye to eye. Okay. So I'm gonna play it for y'all real quick.
To be honest, I believe in cheating respectfully. I never tell my man like, oh, you can go cheat on me.
So cheating respectfully to me is cheating where I don't find out, is having control over your other women, is using condoms and not having babies. Like, treat respectfully because, believe it or not, your man is cheating.
She said what she said. She said what she said, Asha. You can cheat respectfully. Just make sure you wearing condoms. You don't bring home no babies. You don't bring home no STDs. And you can go out there and lay the wood. She said what she said,
it's just so many things wrong with that. And when we were talking on live and we were discussing it, the main thing that stuck out to me is I feel like so many people nowadays on social media have a platform, and those who have bigger platforms than other have so much influence on people and the way they think, right? Mm-hmm. And their words can really be like a domino effect to making people have that same mindset and think that it's okay, right? Yeah. And it's very damaging, because the fact that you can say that someone can cheat on you respectfully is beyond me. Like, I don't even see how you can even form your mouth or your thoughts before you even let it come out your mouth to say, okay, this is okay for me. Mm-hmm. And the first reason that I have with that is because what is that saying about you as a woman, that you're going to allow someone to treat you in that manner? Whereas I'm not worthy of you only respecting me and being with me for you not to go out and cheat. Mm-hmm. So since I know that I'm not worthy of you only being with me, and that you're not going to do it, you're not going to honor just being solely with me and having this relationship and not cheating, I'm going to give you a pass. Right. What does that say about you as a woman? Like, I feel like it's degrading in a sense. Right. To say that you can go out and do whatever you want, but just do it with certain precautions. Don't have a baby. Make sure that you're wrapping it up and doing it safely, in a sense. Mm-hmm. But how does that truly make you feel as an individual? Like, how does that make you feel mentally, emotionally? Right. That person can't even commit to you in your relationship?
Man, I think that you brought up a good point about people giving platforms.
Yeah.
And not using them responsibly. I think that the internet is a great thing. Social media is a great tool used wisely. It gives people so much access to information. But social media and the internet lack wisdom. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people just be out there talking.
Yeah.
Just be throwing concepts out there. And they think they really be saying something, but y'all really be damaging the community.
Absolutely.
With your toxic way of thinking. And it makes you wonder where she learned that from.
Yeah.
Is that coming from a place of pain from her experience where she has seen men cheat all the time around her? Mm-hmm. She has dealt with men that cheated on her. So this is a coping mechanism for her to say, you know what? This happens to everybody. So I'm just going to accept this. Like, you have lowered your worth. And I'm not even just talking to women, because this happens to men too.
Yeah.
Me and you know that to be for sure, based off of our calls. Like, this happens both ways, but it's like, yo, we got to reverse engineer this. Mm-hmm. Because it's not the right way of thinking.
Yeah.
We hear all the time, well, you know, your granddad's and this, that, and the third, or grandmom stuck around, they made things work. First of all, my grandparents, I really only know one of them. None of them married. So it's just like, I don't know that grandparent love that people be talking about. Mm-hmm. Second of all, like, there's a lot of passed down trauma that has happened because of the grandparents' marriage. Yeah. And then their parents' marriage. They talk about how, you know, grandpa had babies around the corner and all this other stuff. This is where we're setting the bar.
Yeah.
This is where we're setting the bar, because a lot of us haven't had real examples of love. So we're setting the bar so low, but we think it's so high.
Yeah.
When it's really not. It's an oxymoron. You can't cheat respectfully.
No.
Right? Like, especially, I'm talking to the men, like, the only thing we really have is our word. So, like, when we give our lady, our woman, our wives, our children our word that we going to be a stand-up man, and we going to hold down the household, that we going to respect our last name because we know that our kids and our wife, they carry our last name, and it means something. That's the way that you respect your family.
Yeah.
You can't cheat respectfully. It's disrespectful. If you don't want to be with somebody no more, then you got to be man enough to say, look, this ain't working for me no more.
Yeah.
I'm going to have the exit stage left. Or if things are going wrong in your relationship, in your marriage, then talk about it. Don't try to go find outside sources to fill a void that you have. Sit down with your partner and talk about it. Work through it. That's how you do things respectfully. But stepping outside your relationship, stepping outside your marriage, there's nothing respectable about that.
Yeah. And just to go a little bit further into the clip, it was a group of women, and they were pretty much talking specifically about men in a certain lifestyle, right? Men being entertainers or athletes or having a certain amount of money, that it came with that lifestyle, right? A lot of women was going to be around them. So it was pretty much them knowing that it was going to happen, right? It was, in a sense, inevitable. So as long as I set boundaries, you're going to do it because you're going to do it regardless. And I think that's such a toxic way of thinking, because you're now giving that individual, that man, the power to say, you know what, I know you're going to do it anyway, so go ahead and do it, but make sure that you're doing this, that, and the third. Yeah. So it's saying that you don't have to respect me. Yeah. You don't have to respect me. You don't have to value my relationship, because in my mind, if I know that you want to be in a relationship, right? We have this relationship, we have this title, because if not, then why would it be considered cheating if we're not together, right? So you want to be with me, but you also want to dip and dabble in everybody else, right? Yeah. You can't even honor just being with me. If that's the case, like you were saying, if you can't be with one person, then be single. And I don't think that's a problem at all. And I think that was the issue in itself, is understanding that if you decide that you want to be in a relationship, be in that relationship. It doesn't matter if you want to categorize yourself as a high value person or having a certain type of money, living a certain lifestyle, or if you're not doing that. It doesn't matter your income or anything of that matter. It's the fact that respect is respect. Man. Your values are your values. If you sit down and if you or her or whoever else who has that way of thinking was to sit down their daughter and say, you know what, honey, you gonna find a man, or you gonna have a little boy that's gonna be into you, but he gonna cheat on you, and that's okay. That's what we're feeding these young men and women. That it's okay for you to not value yourself and to not love yourself enough for someone to disrespect you and say that. Yeah. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree that if someone is, in a certain tax bracket, or if they're doing certain things, regardless, that you're supposed to be accepting of it. Yeah. Because it's very materialistic.
And I know she said at the end of that clip that all men cheat. Man, that's not true. Like I told y'all before, sometimes we look at our world, like the world that we know, the people we hang around, the content that we digest, and we think that is the full picture of the entire world. But I can guarantee you, not all men cheat. Yeah. I can guarantee you that all entertainers, the men that are making a bunch of money, they don't all cheat. I know some real honorable dudes that was not cheating. And I know some that was. Like, that's just how the game go. But I don't feel like... I feel like with the men who think that they can get away with cheating because their woman tells them they can because they make the money and all this other stuff, you got to understand this. She's with you for financial security, right? The danger in you acting on that is the moment you don't have it no more and you have treated her bad throughout that entire time that you had it, that you was up, bye. You will get left.
Bye. Out the door.
You will get left. And there always comes, like, life is full of ups and downs. You may be up for a minute, but you will experience a downtime. And how you treat that person when you was up is how they going to give you back that energy when you down. Yeah. So you just got to think about it. And I know it's hard to rewire yourself. Like I came out early on and talked about the type of man that I used to be. Like I didn't even think it was nothing. Like now I don't cheat. I don't step outside my marriage. I respect Asha, but I do it because I respect myself more. That I don't need to be out here doing all that. That I don't need to give I don't need to give my time to every woman out here who ain't pouring into me. Yeah. Like I got 2 daughters, bro. Like life got really real. I got 2 daughters, and I'm going to be the first example of love to them coming from a male. I'm going to be the first example of what a man is, how he's supposed to carry himself, how he's supposed to act. So I can't be out here doing nut stuff. Because when they get older, chances are they're going to accept it.
Right.
Like, I love daddy. This how daddy was. Let me go find him out in this world.
Yeah.
I got responsibilities, man. I don't got time to be allowing the chase of a nut to mess up my family, bro, to mess up my values, to mess up my morals. I got to stand on some type of principles. Yeah. And cheating ain't one of them. And
that's definitely the mentality of someone who has experienced trauma in relationships, right? Because if you're so used to being cheated on, if you're so used to seeing others in your surrounding area being cheated on, it becomes a norm, right? So you try to make adjustments to fit that norm, to make it okay, when in reality, you know that it's not okay, right? So I think that was the biggest thing, is realizing that it's okay to say that that's not okay. It's okay to acknowledge that it's not acceptable. If you want a certain type of person, it's not about the dollar sign. It's about the values that they have, their morals, like you were saying. And if you're looking for that person and seeking that person, then you have to up your standards as well. You can't be accepting of certain behaviors and think that you're going to get a certain type of person. Mm-hmm. You're going to get what you ask for, right? And I just think that it's so important for us to shift that mentality so much, because it's people out here that really think that that's okay. Yeah. And it's not. Like, you have to heal from that trauma to say enough is enough. And I feel like so many people need to be comfortable and content in saying it's okay to be single. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be in a relationship. If you want to live that lifestyle where you're dating multiple people and you're living life free to do what you want, say that. Like, I feel like so many people have a hard time with just being single and wanting to do that and not wanting to be tied down to one person, right? Because in reality, let's break it down like this. If you are an individual, most of us want that companionship, right? We want that love. We want that, which if you are cheating, you want that one person that you know is going to always be there for you, that you can go back to. Exactly. That you can confide in, that if you're going through something, that, I can go back to my ride or die. I can go back to the person that's going to always be there, my rock, right? But I still want to do all of this out here. So you want that, you yearn for that, but you also have that other side of you that's lusting for all these other women or all these other men, depending on who it is, right? Male or female. So why can't you just accept the fact that you're not in a space to fully commit yourself to anybody? You're not in a space to be with one person. That's not what you want, and that's okay. Say that. So many people are getting in relationships and still wanting to do them. Yeah. Still wanting to just be free and be for the streets, right? In a sense. You can't do both. And when you have people making statements like that, you're saying that that's okay to do both. It's okay to be out and, running in the streets and sleeping with whoever and still having someone that's going to sit there and wait around for you. That's not okay.
Yeah. And I think it's also important to bring up the point that if you are dealing with somebody who honest and they're like, yo, I ain't ready to settle down, like I'm still out here, stop thinking that you can change that person.
Yes, respect that.
Because a lot of people will be like, oh man, I can change him. If he like this, and I'm going to be the one girl that he do fall in love with, that he decide to stop doing stuff for. No, you're not. No, you're not. Mm-hmm. Once his mind is set. Yes. He trying to be out here. Like, I didn't change my mind about what I want to do. I had to change myself. And it was only at that point when I wanted different for my life, when I didn't want to do this no more, that I take the steps to change. So we got to stop taking people on as projects thinking that we can change somebody. You can't change nobody. It's hard enough to change yourself.
Absolutely.
And we be trying to change other people. That's not really how this works. But I did want to touch on for the men who are listening to this that want to change, to just give y'all some steps that you can take in order to do that. Because like I said, it's not easy, especially if you've been doing this for a long time. There's a lot of stuff that you got to work through in order to make that transition in your life. Mm-hmm. But the first thing for me was just admitting that I couldn't control it. Yeah. That I had the wrong mindset that when it came to relationships, I had to admit that something was wrong, because until you believe something's wrong, you're not going to make the effort to change. Nobody changes something when they don't think it's wrong.
Yeah.
So first of all, I had to admit that something was wrong, right? Then I had to take account of my environment. Like, I know who I would be around when I was doing certain things. I know the venues I would be in when I was taking part in certain things. So it's like I had to remove myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to go to the clubs all the time. I don't do that no more, because I know when I drink, it's like I don't know. It just, I don't know. So I don't even go to the clubs and stuff like that no more at all. Matter of fact, I don't remember the last time I went to a club. I don't go to the strip clubs no more. And if I was making a certain transition in my life and there was certain people around me that couldn't respect my growth, that wasn't willing to help me along that journey, that I had to distance myself from. I still got love for you, but I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got serious with it, like to a point, like one of my homeboys, he came down to Houston and I went out with him and they was about to go to the strip club. And he was like, yeah, I know you ain't coming. But it was good seeing you. Like, he ain't saying it in no like smart way, but it was like, yo, I know the type path that you want. So I'm not even going to be like, man, just come on. Like, we ain't going to do nothing. We just going to hang out. Nah, if I love you, I care about you. I care about your family too.
Mm-hmm.
I care about what you stand for. So I'm not even going to try to talk you in to coming into this.
Right.
Because I know the activity that goes down. So it's like I had to surround myself with people who cared about me and cared about my family and made sure that I wasn't about to do nothing stupid to jeopardize it. So I had to, I said admit it, change my environment, but then also look for mentors, look for people who did walk that path.
Mm-hmm.
Get an understanding of what it takes to be that type of man. Read up on it. Reach out to people, because we tried to do a lot of things on our own and we don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we have to reach out to people who've been walking that path that path and can tell you the obstacles that you're going to face as you go along this journey, and who can speak life into you. Because just because you decide to change mentally doesn't mean that you won't have the urges physically. Yeah. And you want to be able to have those phone calls with people like, yo, this is how I'm feeling. I don't really know what to do right now. Or if you get to that point in your relationship with your partner, talk to them.
Yeah. Let
them know what's going on in your mind, so that y'all can work through it together, instead of having to turn, like I said, to outside sources to fill a void that's in your relationship. A lot of the cheating can be out the way if we opened up more and we talked about the issues that we have, so we keep the walls around our relationship strong, so that nothing can get into it.
Yeah. And I think for the women that have been through situations that caused you to feel that way, that, you know, you experienced people cheating on you, infidelity in your relationships, dishonesty, all of that stuff, I think the first step is learning to remove yourself from those people and really getting the healing done that you need to get done, right? Because a lot of times we go from one relationship that's a mirror image of the previous relationship to the next relationship, and we just carry all that baggage and trauma to the point where we feel like that's all that we're going to get. That's all that life has to offer us. Right. And that's not true. So I think once you realize, you know what, this is not for me. This is not what I want for myself. This is not what I want for my life. You're going to want to do and receive better. Right. So when you have that mindset to say, you know what, I'm not going to accept this because I'm worthy of more. I deserve more. And I know it's more out there for me. And I'm not going to limit myself to that. Then you're able to sit back and say, you know what, it doesn't matter what you may seem to be offering me at the time. It's not enough for my mental stability. It's not enough for my emotional stability. Right. No dollar amount can give me that type of stability for me to say that something like that is okay. So when you think like that, you're going to move differently. And that's what I think individuals have to do, to say, you know what, I deserve more. Yes, I've been hurt. Yes, I've experienced cheating, but that doesn't have to mean that everybody's going to treat me that way. Mm-hmm. And it first starts with me treating myself better. So let me do the work and let me heal from those past traumas. So now when I get into a relationship, or when I'm not even in a relationship yet, but when I'm seeking that individual, I'm being intentional about what I want, what's beneficial for me, what's going to work for me, and what's not going to harm me or diminish my morals and my values. So now we're going out into the world looking for that right individual that's going to treat us right. That's the first step. To let go of that negative mindset, because it's very damaging and it's very toxic. And when you sit up there and you go through life, you don't want to be 50, 60 years old, still living a single life, right? Because you haven't found that person that's really able to sit down and commit to you because they want to be out there. Or not only that, you've committed or you're with someone long term who's still treating you bad.
Right.
You don't deserve that. So you have to let go of that trauma and realize that, yes, it's people out there that's gonna treat you that way and gonna think it's acceptable, but that's all that's out there. It's people that's out there that's gonna honor you, that's gonna respect you, that's gonna love you, that's gonna be with you and only you. And you can find that, but you have to value yourself more. No one can value you more than you can value yourself. Like, don't put a dollar sign amount or a cap on who and what you can like have in a person if you're not valuing yourself. I value myself to say, you know what, I'm not going to sit up here and accept certain behaviors. And if someone else sees that, they're going to say, oh yeah, that's what I want, right? She has certain standards. If you think about it, if that was an individual or a man saying, you know, or you hearing a woman say, you know what, you can go out and cheat on me, I'm okay with that. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to commit to that, right? Because you know that.
I got with you because you didn't give up the cheeks on the first night, and I tried to get them, and everybody else was throwing them. And I was like, oh, she said, I can't. I got to go to work tomorrow.
Right.
I was like, all right.
But if you set in standards, that's going to leave an impression on you as a man. To say, you know what?
It left an impression on me.
Right. So if you're used to, or if you're that man that's out there cheating, and that woman says, you know what, go ahead. I know all men going to cheat, so go ahead and do what you got to do. That's going to leave an impression on you to say, you know what, I can go do what I want to do. But that one woman that says, you know what, I'm not accepting that. So if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do what you got to do. But I'm going to go find me what I need for myself. You going to sit there and think like, dang, out of all these women that I done been through and I've been doing this, she's showing me something different. Yeah. And if I really want her, I'm going to clean myself up and I'm going to get it together because I see the value in her and I want to make it work. Right? So we have to realize that and really set the standard of saying that that's not acceptable. If it's past trauma, work through that.
And since it's the Real Relationship Podcast, Asha, I'm going to throw something at you real quick. I'm going to need you to keep it real on.
Okay,
ready?
I'm ready.
Go ahead, drink your coffee because you might need it.
Okay.
You just gave your tips for the women who may be experiencing their man stepping out on their relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Who've been through past trauma. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to need you to drop some tips for these cheating women out here too, because they need to hear it too. It ain't just men that be out here cheating. It be women out here cheating too. Absolutely. So we need you to go ahead and speak to them. Don't worry, fellas. I'm going to hold it down. Because they don't want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We need a message for these cheating women.
Okay, so the same applies. If you are a woman who you're out there cheating and doing all this stuff, it all comes down to you valuing yourself, right? Do you value yourself enough to say, I don't want to sit up here and spread myself thin to everybody. I'm worth more than that.
Spread yourself wide.
You know what? But no, I'm worth more than that. Like, I feel like individuals who go out and do that and cheat and feel the need to do that, it's an underlying issue that they're not working through to say what's triggering them to feel like they have to go out and cheat, right? Mm-hmm. So when you work through those issues and those pain and that trauma, then you're able to say, you know what, this ain't right. This don't sit right with me. Because I can't imagine someone really sitting up there and saying it feels good to just be with this person and that person, and not have that person of security where you know that this is the only person that I want to be with.
The only time I can think that it may feel good to somebody is if that's what they was taught growing up.
Yeah, but even if
that
you were
people in
taught
their
that,
life bounced around to them, so now they're normal. I won't even say feel good, but it's most comfortable for them.
yes, that's probably it's comfortability
Because they're not used to allowing people into such a space where they're so close to them, where they know them more than just their body.
Yeah.
But they know them mentally. They know them spiritually, right? They
Yes.
know them emotionally.
Yes, we have to get to that place of wanting someone to learn and know you deeper than surface level, sexual, right? Like, let's remove that and intrigue me mentally, stimulate me mentally before we get to the physical, because that's what's going to give you that longevity in that relationship. That's what's going to give you that security, because at a point in time, whether it's age or whatever it may be, all that sex drive and all that stuff you're doing, it's not going to be the same. When you about 50, 60, 70, it ain't going to be working the same.
Yeah.
So it's like, do we really want to sit up?
The same. For real.
It may.
You
know, some of them be out there like that, but I'm just saying.
Science is crazy right about now. I end up getting a new one, you know
what I mean?
what?
I'm done. But I'm just saying, after a history and years of doing the same thing, it gets tired. You know, you get tired of having that type of lifestyle. And so to the women who are out there doing that, I would advise you to just sit down and sit in your truth and work on healing you. What caused you to feel like that those actions that you're taking is necessary, and work through that. Like, it's so many times that we just do, and we don't really understand why we're doing. So when you work through and you get to the bottom underlying issue of why am I doing this? What is making me seek multiple people? What is holding me back from just being with this individual, or finding that individual and working on a relationship with them? What's holding me back? So figure that out. Do the work. If you have somebody, let them go. I really hate to see individuals be in a relationship and just abuse each other, in the sense of, you can't be there and invested in that one person. You have to be amongst everybody else, you know? I hate to see that, because it's so damaging, not only to that person, but it's damaging to you as well. So I just feel like we have to really get back to a place. I don't even know if it's getting back to a place, but get to a place of understanding that if you can't be faithful to that one person, let them go.
Yeah. And to those who, you know, be like, they stick around for the financial security, for the cars, the bags, the shoes. Like Asha said, it's only going to last but so long.
Girl.
The vacations may be exciting. Listen, how many times you going to put the mug down?
I'm just saying.
Listen, like, the vacations may be exciting in the beginning. The bags, the Chanel, whatever bags, the cars. Like, it may be cool at first, but we all have had a car that we was excited to get, and then it just didn't do the same anymore. Yes. Like, that feeling wore off. Or you bought a pair of sneakers, you bought a purse, and you so excited, like, you want to wear it everywhere. You want to show people your new bag. And then after a while, it's like, it don't have the same effect on you. So how many bags is it going to take for you to be happy? Yeah. How many cars?
The value of all those things depreciate.
Yeah. It's just like, well, not everything. Not all those
most
things.
Of the cars and the bags.
Yeah, the cars and stuff, but those bags, certain bags, they go up.
I mean, they do, but you got to think, when you go into the store, you get a Louis bag or Fendi bag, whatever, today, right? Next season, that
Louis bag gonna be worth some money, though.
It may be worth some money, but it will sit there next season or the next year. They're gonna, if you're living that lifestyle to want the materialistic things, you're gonna want the new.
Yeah, but I'm even saying the feeling that you get from it.
Yeah. Like,
it's only going to last but so long, and then you are going to be sitting in your closet crying in front of all your shoes and your bags, because at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. That's not what we search for as humans. That's not what fulfills us as people. Yeah. Materialistic things can only take you but so far, and once you reach a certain level of being able to take care of your needs, all that other stuff don't matter.
Yeah.
It's the cherry on top. But it doesn't need to be there. So you really got to respect yourself more. There are some honest men out there who are making good money and will treat you right. There's women out there that'll treat you right, because we deal with men who accept being cheated on. So it's like it goes both ways, and we gotta find some way to fix it. Like, we don't got the answers, but we know this topic needs to be talked about because we see the impact that it has on our community.
Yeah.
And it's damaging. There's too many people growing up with trauma because their parents, their grandparents couldn't stand up and say, yo, enough is enough.
Yeah.
So now we just passing down these generational cycles, and it's really affecting our kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's affecting their kids. And it's infecting our entire community. So if we want to fix the community, like I told y'all before, we got to fix the family. In order to fix the family, we got to fix the people at the head of the family.
Absolutely.
That's how you make a difference.
Absolutely.
But no, there was another point I wanted to bring up too. Like, to all the fellas out there that's thinking about making that change, right? And honoring your family, honoring your woman. Yo, it's like the best feeling in the world when you don't have skeletons in your closet and you not out here trying to cover up everything. Okay. Or trying to be sneaky with stuff. Like when you really are just carefree because you know you are an honorable man. You ain't out here doing nothing. Like, I always find it funny, and I show Asha, like, if I make a comment on the Shade Room, because I know a lot of our listeners come from the Shade Room, and people be like, yo, you like another Derrick Jackson. Like, you be out here cheating. Like, your side piece gonna come out and all this other stuff. And it's like, yo, if I was really out here in these streets like that, I wouldn't be commenting on the Shade Room. I wouldn't put myself out there like that. I'm better than that. Like, come on now. I'm sneakier than that. I wouldn't put myself out there where another woman can be like, look at him talking about this, that, and the third, and he over here doing this with me. But that's just like the level of freedom that you can have. Like, I'm able to walk into my purpose, right? That I feel like God had for me and my wife because I changed my lifestyle. Like, there won't be nothing coming out about me doing anything because I don't do those things. And if I wasn't willing to walk away from that type of lifestyle, then the blessings that God is going to do for us, he wouldn't be able to do because I would have just blew it all in the first place. So it's like, yo, when you are able to get control of that area of your life, like, you will see a lot of other areas of your life start to change because you have gained control over your sexual desires. So
yeah. And I just wanted to point that out, like you saying with that on the Shade Room with, oh, if you were doing all of those things, it would have been out there. But let's just think about how embarrassing it is that if you know either way, right? If you were doing all of that and someone was to say, oh, well, just, you know, you got your side piece out there and someone was to see and she was to come out, how embarrassing that is. But let's just tap in before we get to the conclusion of how embarrassing it is as an individual still, that if you know that someone's out there doing that and you make that statement, how it's going to make you feel, right?
Right.
To say, oh, and put me in this situation to say that that's okay. And now everyone knows it. If that person sees you on social media and y'all are all hugged up and y'all are lovey-dovey and trying to promote yourself like you are this person, and you have individuals out there that's saying, oh, no, he ain't no good.
Bro, women will let you get away with that, but so far.
She ain't no good.
I mean, I was talking to some dude, he was like, nah, I got that under control. Like, she ain't gonna say nothing. What?
It's
For
always
the moment,
gonna come
she ain't gonna
out,
say
right?
nothing now, but the moment you do something, the moment you try to cut it off.
The moment a bill ain't paid.
Yeah, like,
the moment you say
something.
no. The moment you do something wrong, the moment you post something that they don't like a certain way, whether it be male or female, because like we said, it happens with both, something gonna come out.
Yeah.
And it's so embarrassing, not only to you, but it's embarrassing to that person that you're with. It's embarrassing if you have children, for your children to see that.
Yeah.
So I just think that we just gotta clean it up all around to just say, you know what? If I don't want to be committed in a relationship, I don't have to be, and that's okay. If you're at a space where you want to do you and live life, then do you and live life, and don't tie yourself down to individuals and allow for them to love you and get to a certain space where you're not able to love them back the same way that they deserve to be loved. So
don't be that guy crying because you lost your family.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't control it. Don't be that guy who falls for pleasure instead of focusing on true happiness, man.
Or woman.
You see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You lose what you had. You lose what you used to take for granted. Now all of a sudden, you boo-hooing, crying, saying you ain't mean to do it. Take me back. Like, nah. Recognize what you got now and treat it as such. Therefore, you ain't got to worry about putting yourself through that. You ain't got to worry about trying to act all tough around your friends like nothing's really bothering you. But when you go home, you in the bed crying.
Okay.
Holding that pillow tight because it still smells like her perfume. Like, don't be that guy, man.
No.
Step up and take care of your business right now. And just set the example for your sons, your daughters, for your community.
Yes.
About how you're supposed to really carry yourself as a man. And you'll just see the domino effect. You'll see it starting to affect people around you. Because I read the messages from men on this podcast, and it's like, yo, it's really making a difference because we talking about some stuff that men need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't coming from a place where it's like I'm trying to put you down because, bro, I was you once. I understand what you up against. But I also am showing you that, yo, if you really want to make that change, it's possible. Like, if you want to stop trying to impress your friends, letting them know who you sleeping with, and you showing people like, yo, this is what I'm doing. I'm taking my kids to the park. I'm taking my kids to the movie. I'm doing this, that, and the third. I'm chilling with my wife tonight. Like, that's a real man. Like, that's what's really cool. All this other stuff that's being pushed in the media, on social media, bro, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
I've been in football for a very long time. It was a lot of miserable people with a lot of money because things wasn't holding up at home. Don't let it fool you. People post what they want to post on social media. It may look like their life is good, bruh. But when you dealing with family issues, man, life get real crazy.
Yes.
It get real crazy.
Yes. So, moral of the story, you guys, if you're in a relationship, do not cheat respectfully, commit respectfully. And if you can't do that, then go be single respectfully.
There you go.
Okay, so we hope you guys enjoy this episode. Until next time, you guys, keep it real.
Yes, sir.